On a trip to Europe in my 20s, I had 8 short days to get a taste of Italy, and I resolved to come back to spend more time in the country. 16 years passed in the blink of an eye, but this was never a dream that would go unfulfilled. Beyond all the planning it took to make that dream real, I've learned to speak Italian to make my experience more real. Italy's beauty takes countless forms. It's a country as renowned for Bocelli and Pavarotti as it is for Ferrari and Lamborghini, as admired for prosciutto and gelato as it is for Prada and Versace. And while I'll never match Marco Polo in my wanderings through the Bel Paese, maybe I can learn a thing or two about the inspiration behind Galileo, Vivaldi, Michelangelo, and Da Vinci. This is the story of my real time in Italy with my family. Sono tornato Italia, viva il sogno. Okay, so right now I'm in Spoleto, Italy. It's the first day of my Italian adventure with my family. We got in at the airport in Rome at 10 o'clock this morning, and after all the rental car stuff and driving to our Airbnb out in the country, there wasn't a whole lot of time for exploring, but I rushed out. I drove up north another hour and a half to this town, Spoleto, which is absolutely incredible. Got here at around like 5 p.m. and I was a little concerned, like, am I going to drive all this way? Is anything be open? But I saw a really cool cathedral with an incredible kind of like golden mosaic on the exterior, and then basilicas on the inside. And then also currently I'm at a like an ancient like kind of Roman or Italian fortress, and there's a museum inside with frescoes and carvings and all sorts of ancient beads dating back to like as old as the 5th and 6th centuries. And it's pretty amazing. I know we're going to see a lot of this stuff, but I'm totally wired having just arrived in Italy. And also it's been awesome to have a chance to use my Italian. We stopped for lunch at a place in the middle of nowhere in the Italian countryside, and it was just an older couple, maybe in their 60s or so. They spoke not a word of English, and I was able to talk with them, and they were incredibly hospitable, and they were curious about the United States. Is there wine there? Is there olive oil there? And I said, yeah, but it's maybe not quite as good as it is here. And so that was a really cool experience. The pasta we got fettuccine with ragu sauce. I'm gonna say undoubtedly was the best pasta since the last time that I have had since the last time I was in Italy. And it's just been really cool. It's like a totally different, more authentic, exciting experience. Being here for a longer time and also being able to speak the language, and I'm just super excited for everything that's to come. So Spoleto was a really interesting town to wander through. There are a lot of Italian hill towns, of course, but a few things made this one unique. It has a network of really long escalators, which sounds maybe not that cool if you're wandering through Italy, but when you're looking at the prospect of wandering up, say, 600 steps to get to this fortress, the escalators are welcome. So that was a cool thing to see. A lot of streets that look like they came out of a fairy tale. It was so much fun. I made my dinner reservation. Before I went, I had 30 minutes or so to wander through the streets, and it just seemed like every corner I turned was this beautiful new view of a street with a lot of character. There are lots of historic churches that you just kind of stumble upon, lots of picturesque cafes. It also was fun while wandering through Spoleto to, like I said earlier, use my Italian. A group of Italian girls came up to me, asked me in Italian, "Hey, can you take our photo?" And I responded in Italian, "Yeah, well, what kind of photo do you want?" There was what the lady at the museum asked me in Italian, "Are you under 25? You'll get a discounted rate." And I said back in Italian, "No, I'm 38, but thank you." So it's just fun to be able to interact a little bit with people that way. I went to an awesome restaurant called Ristorante Locanda della Signora. It was near the cathedral, and it had a few things that were really cool. It had beautiful views over Spoleto. It was sunset. My table faced this overlook, looking over the city, and the views were just so spectacular. I got a dish called strongozzi al tartufo, which is like a fresh homemade pasta with olive oil and an Italian truffle sauce. I got it with a salad, and they gave me olive oil and like white wine vinegar to put over the salad. And it was just a really cool, chilled out evening. enjoying this authentic Italian meal, the views and everything. And all of it at the restaurant came to like 21 euros, which is what, like $25 or something. It was just awesome, an awesome day in Spoleto. We spent the day exploring a couple hill towns in the outskirts of Rome, starting with a town called Frascati. We grabbed lunch at a place called Trattoria La Bottega Frascati before exploring the town.
We're in Frascati and we are just enjoying some lunch. We're on a nice patio, lots of lovely botanicals. We're both having pasta. I'm having ravioli with a ricotta and spinach filling, a little bit of basil garnish. I think it's a pretty classic dish. Mike's also having a classic fettuccine dish, and we're enjoying the food. We're hungry.
Audrey is becoming a connoisseur of Italian food. It's hard to go wrong with staples like pasta and gelato. We had a nice wander through the town, although it wasn't quite as charming as my visit to Spoleto yesterday. The cathedral in Frascati had some charm, but it was hard to find much that was exceptional in our wanderings there. So I'm in a hill town just southeast of Rome called Frascati, and the honest truth is I don't remember why I planned on coming here. I originally planned this trip for 2020, and that turned out to be, kind of a bad year for traveling. So it was like over a year ago that I planned on coming to Frascati, and I know there was a good reason. I don't remember what it was. Hey, it's an okay town, I guess I don't regret coming here. We had a nice lunch. We're gonna grab some gelato right now. We had a good time. We peeked in this cathedral here, and I don't remember what's special about it, but we're gonna have a great time, and we're gonna go on with our day and do more cool things. Okay, so we're in Frascati. Heidi astutely mentioned that in my last video I didn't sound very excited to be here. But one way or the other, we're excited for this gelato. I got tiramisu, and I think it's like amaretto, and it's melting all over my hand, so I'm gonna eat it, and we're gonna end this video. Audrey loved the gelato, but was disappointed by the tart taste of the lemon sorbet. Oh, you hate it. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Our next stop was Castel Gandolfo, a town on the nearby Lake Albano that's famous for its botanical gardens. Okay, so we're in Castel Gandolfo. It's just south of our new favorite Italian town, Frascati. We have some days when traveling that are total home run, and some days that are a bit of a swing and a miss. It appears that that's what we had today. Frascati was okay. The gelato was probably the best part. We were both really looking forward to the botanical gardens here in Castel Gandolfo, but we arrived and guess what? They're closed. So I'm determined to do something here. We're gonna have a nice long look at this beautiful Italian plaza, and there's a lake nearby. We'll enjoy the views of the lake, and then we'll probably drive home and have fun in the pool in the Italian countryside, and that's gonna be our day. Not so bad. The gelato was nice. We had a nice Italian lunch, and it's part of the deal with independent travel. Sometimes you hit a home run. It's the coolest, craziest, serendipitous adventure you've ever had, and sometimes you swing and miss, and that's kind of what we had today. But we're still having a good time. So the day didn't go exactly according to plan, and I have to admit that I own it to some extent. If I could do it again, I'd scratch Frascati entirely and spend the whole day at Castel Gandolfo. Also, when we got to Castel Gandolfo, we burned some time and energy wandering along the highway because we couldn't find the entrance to the botanical garden. I should have researched it. The entrance is in the main square, the historic center, and there's parking just off the main road to the west of town. If I could do it again, I would spend the whole day in Castel Gandolfo. I'd hit the botanical garden in the morning with a reservation, and after that, maybe have a light lunch with gelato, do some kayaking and hiking in the afternoon, then do dinner overlooking the lake in the evening. When exploring a place while traveling, there are always a few reasons to come back. Our reason to come back to the area will be to spend that perfect day in Castel Gandolfo. Okay, so we spent the morning at a little, I don't know if you call it a hill town. It's this really cool town on this like cliff mesa thing. It's called Civita di Bagnoregio. That's what it's called. And this one is famous. You see it all over on Facebook on like the travel pages and stuff, like pictures of it with beautiful light in the background and stuff. And yeah, it was a beautiful town to look at. Like this view is amazing, but just as amazing was like all the streets in the town. They're covered with flowers and things, cool little restaurants and shops. It really is a charming town, even on the interior of the town, just as charming as this view from the exterior. We had some bruschetta there. We went to this restaurant that had like 15 different kinds of bruschetta on the menu. It was in this like old like historic building with an ancient stone mill and stuff. So we've just had a really cool time here at Civita di Bagnoregio.
Civita di Bagnoregio had a little something for everyone. Audrey especially enjoyed playing with the cats wandering around the medieval streets.
Okay, so we're now in Orvieto. We are at a place called St. Patrick's Well, which is a well-known place in Orvieto. And I knew this well was, well, hey, any well is deep, right? But you look down this thing and you're just like, holy smokes, didn't know it was that deep. So it's really cool. There's like these kind of windows all the way down the well. And you walk all the way down and it's just like this humid, dank, cool adventure.
The imposing Orvieto Cathedral is one of the most impressive parts of a visit to the city. The exterior of the cathedral is as beautiful as I've ever seen. It was impossible to do it justice with my camera. It's covered in intricate gold mosaics, stone carvings, stained glass windows, and more. The interior was cavernous. I especially loved the carved marble statues. There was some kind of art exhibit outside the cathedral with giant white balloons. Audrey loved wandering through them, as did the other kids in Orvieto.
Audrey! Audrey. Uh-oh, Audrey.
We spent some time in a museum with beautiful Etruscan artifacts, but jet lag got the better of me. I spent a half hour slouched over in a chair slumbering.
Okay, so we're eating gelato, clearly. This is, well, we've done this both of our full days in Italy. Kind of wrapping up the day, get a little gelato. It's a nice way to wind down. Orvieto has been really cool. One of the best towns we've visited so far, I'd say. And the highlight really was the underground. There's this network of literally like 1,200 tunnels that served as homes and workshops for the people who lived here in Orvieto since Etruscan times, literally thousands of years. And I wish I had video of the underground, but I don't for two reasons. Number one, you can't take video, and I probably would have snuck video, but number two, I was carrying Audrey and it just wasn't going to work. So don't have video of the underground, but it's probably the coolest part of Orvieto, and we're just relaxing, enjoying our gelato. I'm gonna head back to the place, and we're totally wiped out from jet lag, so we'll crash and get a little sleep back there.
We went to church in Rome this morning at a chapel on the grounds of the LDS Temple. After church, we walked through the visitor center. I loved the statues of the 12 apostles in the atrium. On the other side of the atrium, there are awesome views of the temple, and there was plenty of space for Audrey to wander around. There were also a few small exhibits in the museum, including a first edition Italian Book of Mormon published in 1852. The grounds of the temple had beautiful gardens that we enjoyed walking through. Audrey enjoyed the waterfalls. One unexpected benefit of traveling with a 1-year-old is finding all the little things that a small child would like to do. At Hadrian's villa, Audrey loved playing in the fountain. Audrey had the great idea to dip her whole head in the water and get it wet to keep her cool.
Okay, we're at Hadrian's villa. It's a ancient complex that was a retreat for the Emperor Hadrian, the Roman Emperor Hadrian. It's in the suburbs of Rome, kind of on the northeast of Rome. Man, I had no idea how big this place is. It is awesome. It's this massive complex of ruins. There are multiple bathhouses. There's an ancient warehouse, giant stone columns, and one of the coolest things for me has been all the ancient flooring. There's been, in many places, we've seen mosaics, some with the original color they had still in place, exposed to the elements after thousands of years, on the ground, by the way. Just the size of the place is amazing.
One of my favorite parts of Hadrian's villa was the Maritime Theater, which got its name from the statues of Roman sea gods that were found there. Hadrian's biographers said he would spend time there when he was in a bad mood, which was apparently very often. Lunch today was at a restaurant in Serrano, Italy called Fidalma, which had a nice outdoor patio. Heidi ordered tortelli with ragu sauce, and I had a plate with mixed grilled meats. Audrey loves pasta. It's fun to see her enjoy all the different types of Italian food.
Okay, so the verdict on the lunch is that it was very good. We both really enjoyed it. The pasta was awesome. Had the homemade taste to it, awesome filling. The grilled meats were good. I had like a pork chop and sausage, pork belly, which I'm not a huge fan of in the first place, but altogether it was an awesome meal. I ordered some tiramisu. We're gonna get some dessert going, see if Audrey can appreciate that like she appreciates pasta. And then we're going to move on and have a great day. Audrey. Uh-oh, Audrey. She like it? No, she wants more. There we go. Audrey. She loves it.
Near Serrano, there is a network of trails that has been used since Etruscan times. We took a short walk down one to get a feel for it. Audrey was pretty wiped out by the end. We had a fun time enjoying the trails as a family. Apparently there are Etruscan caves in the area too. I thought they were in the valley below and was hoping to hike to them, but couldn't find them. While flying my drone, I noticed several caves on a rock wall across the valley floor. I wondered if they were created by the Etruscans. The Saturnia Hot Springs is another place I've seen all over travel pages on Facebook, and I was excited to experience it for myself. Given how remote it is, I thought we might have the place to ourselves, but there were plenty of other visitors there to enjoy it too. Heidi and Audrey both loved the place. Audrey was a little intimidated at first, but once she got used to it, she had a great time. Heidi and I both enjoyed playing with Audrey in the water. Before leaving, Audrey rediscovered the rocks at the bottom of the pools and played with them for at least another 30 minutes.
All right, so we're at a park, like a city park on the outskirts of Rome, with an ancient Roman aqueduct running straight through the park. And I wanted to come here for a few reasons. Number one, obviously it's like incredible from an archaeological standpoint, but also it's apparently a place that tourists don't really come to. I mean, who knows, but I'm not seeing anyone that looks like a tourist, certainly no tour buses, nothing like that. And this just seems to me like a really cool, like authentic Rome experience. You've got people here going, you know, on little walks for run and stuff. And also, it's just amazing, I mean, to me, to see this in real life, to consider that this aqueduct has been here for 2,000 years, that it was an important part of the infrastructure of Rome, that it brought the water into the city, and to see these giant arches. And I mean, this thing, you know, could have run for, what, 50 miles or more, right? So really cool to see it in real life, and we're gonna enjoy our time here in the park. Okay, so we're at a restaurant called Orvieto. It's in the suburbs of Rome, a little bit north of the center. And I found this one online. It got really good reviews. It's new, but all the reviews are 5 stars. And so I'm like, let's give this place a try. It seems pretty authentic. As far as I can tell, no one here speaks English. None of the patrons or tourists. It's just like totally legit. I got a dish called spaghetti toni or something like that. The waitress said it was a typical Roman dish, a little like spaghetti with like some bacon-looking stuff on it. Heidi got the pulled pork, going you know, a little more traditional American, but we're having a good time here. We enjoy it.
Orvieto turned out to be a little too modern and trendy for our tastes, but the quality of the food was great, and most importantly, Audrey loved the pulled pork sandwich.
Cioè.
Okay, so we're back at the Airbnb. We're playing in the pool. It's been a hot day, so I think all of us are glad to, you know, take a dip and cool down a little bit. We had a nice day after the park with the aqueduct and lunch. We went to some catacombs called Catacombs of Priscilla. Apparently, I think they said they were the oldest or most important catacombs in Rome. And really spectacular underground. Over 8 miles of tunnels and caverns with the tombs on the sides, over 44,000 different tombs. Unfortunately, they didn't permit video, so I have no video of it. But I love catacombs, man. It was really, how do you say it? It was, it's just kind of this spooky, fascinating, historic experience. And then we were gonna go to another historic site called an old villa called Tivoli d'Este on the north part of Rome, or I guess the northeast part of Rome. but that didn't really work out. Audrey wasn't up to it. She'd had a long day, so we came home and we've been playing in the pool, and that's been a really fun part of this Airbnb. And we're at a part now where we're wrapping up this kind of first week of our trip in this area. Tomorrow we're going to drive up to Bologna with a stop on the way. And but this has been really cool up here to see these sights in the suburbs of Rome and also in this region of Italy. We're just looking forward to what's to come.